Hello there, my name is Keith. If this is the first one of my videos you're seeing, completely unscripted, we're gonna have a nice little chat. Of course, we're talking Super Bowl here. This is all I'm gonna have to say about the game. Um, Not the most entertaining, but the MVP is Walker, who ran for 135 yards and no touchdowns. I get 135 yards is pretty impressive. You know what's more impressive? 5 field goals. Can we not give it to the kicker? The kicker pretty much outscored the other team on his own. Just saying. All right, let's move on. Now, listen, I said before, and I'll say it again. I had very minimal interest in the game itself, which is rare because usually I'm more invested. I just wasn't this year, but I was very invested in the halftime show, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about. The halftime show was incredible. And I know this is the time of year and this is the day where you jump on social media, and today's the same as every other year where you hear the comments, oh, this is the greatest halftime show of all time versus, oh, that was the worst halftime show of all time. Literally comment after each other, kind of countering each other. It's just ridiculous to me. I'm not here to say whether I think it was the best or the worst. I just wanted to chat about it. First of all, absolutely not the worst. Very, very strong halftime performance by Bad Bunny. And let me tell you something. I don't consider myself to be a fan of Bad Bunny. And when I say that, I mean, I've not parted with money to go and see him perform or to go and buy his music and what have you. My introduction to Bad Bunny, believe it or not, being a wrestling fan, was when he was part of WWE for a brief stint. A lot of celebrities come into WWE, but he's on a very short list of people who took it very seriously and did really well. He was at a WrestleMania, and he was at a couple of other different events. Bad Bunny's a legit athlete, by the way, but I'm here to talk about the halftime show. What an incredible celebration of his culture. Now you have to think about it like this. This is the biggest, audience in the world. The most eyeballs are on this show. And for months, people did not want Bad Bunny to perform to the point where they were having another halftime show, which is absolutely idiotic. I get that a lot of times people hear who's performing and they might not gel with them, and they might be like, oh, why couldn't it be this person? Why couldn't it be that person? Bad Bunny, to my knowledge, most streamed artist on Spotify, basically selling out tours, uh, extremely popular performer, just won album of the year at the Grammys. And then with all of that, all those wonderful things in his life, he has all this negativity, this cloud around him, where there's a group of people who just didn't want him to perform. Whether it was the strong MAGA crowd of, oh, you know what, we don't want him, or it was the people's like, oh, can't we just get, like, a white person to perform? Here's what I will tell you. I know you look at me and you think to yourself, Keith, you're so worldly, and I appreciate that. Thank you. I don't speak Spanish. I did not understand everything that Bad Bunny was saying. I didn't understand the majority of what Bad Bunny was saying. But music is music. You're looking at a guy who, right now, as we speak, is contemplating jumping on a plane and heading to France to see a Korean K pop group. Don't speak Korean either, but good music is good music. So, with all the pressure and with all of the haters surrounding him, Bad Bunny reminded us of something. Sometimes you don't have to give your enemies a middle finger. Sometimes all you really need to do is remind them of how good you are and let them go in a corner and cry about it, because what he delivered today was exceptional. Now, I haven't had the chance to go back and rewatch the halftime show. This is just going from the one time I saw it. But just some of the things that are staying with me is the imagery of him walking through the fields and seeing so many people there, who I've known from other experiences, who are getting up extremely early in the sun, and picking crops and doing that sort of labor to provide for their family, the extremely hardworking people. I also saw him paying homage to people who've come before. It's interesting in a halftime show where he brings in people like Ricky Martin and Lady Gaga and was like, oh, cool, that's good to see them, but he is still like the main show. It was nice seeing Jessica Alba, Pedro Pascal, and other entertainers there. But again, everything was around the celebration of the culture. We had a couple actually get married live at a Super Bowl halftime show. At first, we're watching that, and I was thinking, oh, that's a nice little pop. No, no, no. Apparently, this couple had invited Bad Bunny to their wedding, and he's like, I got an idea. And the next thing you know, they're getting married at the halftime show. on top of that, one of the most touching moments, I thought, I just love this. I'm gonna try to like get through this and not get teared up because this one I thought was so sweet. You're always reminded of the fact that there are kids watching and there are kids looking at celebrities and thinking about them wanting to replicate their success or to use that as an inspiration for their own success. And this amazing moment where the little boy is sitting in front of the TV and he sees Bad Bunny winning the Grammy Award just last week, by the way. And then Bad Bunny comes and presents that little kid the award. Loved it. I thought this was fantastic. This is a very watered down review of it because, again, I haven't gone and done the deep dive analysis that I'm going to do. But for the second year in a row, I'm looking at the halftime show and I'm thinking this wasn't just what we're used to over the years of an artist coming out and performing songs. This is art, and this was absolutely brilliant. Hats off to Bad Bunny and team for putting together such an incredible halftime show. Again, this is going to deserve several rewatches. And again, like I said, to me, it isn't about, oh, are you a fan or not? It's whether or not you can respect the art, and I absolutely can. Fantastic job. Well done. I'd love to hear what you think. Feel free to drop me a comment. If you'd like this type of content, feel free to like and subscribe. Appreciate the time. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.